Well, I'm just a regular person. I'm not anything unusual. I just happen to have a peculiarity. So my peculiarity is I think I ought to save water. And this is my way of trying to do something that makes me a little different from some of the average persons that you meet on the street. I will now show you how I go about doing dishes. I do all the things that aren't very dirty first, like for instance glasses that have had water or milk or something in them. And then I rinse. And as I rinse, the water accumulates in the bottom of the pan, safing up dishes until you have a real big supply is very important. There's no need whatsoever to do your dishes every day. You only need to do them just when you've got a dishpan full. The one interesting episode I had with water was once when we were camping down, went down the peninsula of Baja. And when we were about halfway down, somewhere near Scammons Lagoon, we'd been camping for almost a week, so we weren't very clean because we only had water we carried with ourselves and used it only for drinking, and I think hand washing, and teeth brushing. And we ran into this puddle where it was a pretty big puddle, and that's where the cows were drinking. So my girlfriend and I that shoved the cattle away. We just clapped our hands and yelled at them, and they ran away for a short distance, and we washed our hair. That was one of my episodes of where I was very aware of how invaluable water was because I felt so much better with clean hair. Every time I take a shower, I collect the water in a bucket as I take a shower, and then I have two old dishpans that are in the floor of the shower. I can put one of my big feet in each of the pans, and then when I take my shower, the water from my shower goes into the pans. I get 3 toilet flushes out of every shower I take, and I will admit I like taking showers. I think it was in the 1980s that I thought I ought to do something about trying to save some water to go in the garden in the backyard. We've been able to get 5 55-gallon barrels of very heavy, I think, plastic. They were lined up along the side of the house, and we were able to get a special pipe running from the rain gutter, and then this new piece of piping goes to the first barrel, and then the individual barrels are connected with a piece of plastic tubing as they fill up, and then also they can be drained. So there'll be water that we can use in the days when water isn't so available, or when it's much more expensive, because no doubt water is going to be more expensive in the near future. Making things more expensive often helps with conservation. And this one is a pan, which isn't dirty, very dirty. It was what we had our vegetables cooked in last night. We had wonderful, fresh, out of the garden artichokes. It's wonderful having your own artichokes growing in your own backyard. The world is made of a lot of water. It's not water that's potable. In fact, as I understand now, there's absolutely no place on earth where there's absolutely clean water left. That no running water can just be drunk anywhere on this earth because the human pollution of the water, plus some animal pollution, but mostly human pollution of water systems. I'm a microbiologist. My field of specialization were the fungi, the molds, and yeasts that cause infection and human disease. When I was younger, I worked and traveled in different parts of the world, and I've seen areas where people had to walk long distances to get water, especially in Africa. And even in Southeast Asia where I lived, although there was rainwater all the time and such, the water was often polluted and people would have to bring clean water from a special pump. And just carrying water is heavy, especially it's usually delegated to children or women who aren't as strong to carry the heavy loads. But I think that the fact that a great deal of the planet today is becoming so dry that any effort that anyone makes, even if it's only 2 or 3 cups of water that are being saved, is going to be water available for the future when there's going to be an even bigger population on the earth. Oh, the other way of why I save water is in my laundry room. When the laundry water is being released by the washer into the tub to drain down the drain, and I put all of the water into the buckets. And from the buckets, I then store them until I need toilet flushes. And then I just carry a bucket of water to the bathroom and use it as a toilet flush. Well, you can see how much water I use to wash this. That's what, 5 inches of water. That washed 2 evenings' dinner, 2 breakfasts, and a lunch, and the cat's dishes for my family of myself, 2 cats, and Marina.